Hey everyone, how are you all? Hope everybody are doing fine. And I'm back with MCQ series of class 10 science. I am with the chapter electricity today. I have already completed 4 chapters. Links are provided in the description. Don't forget to go and check it out if you have not watched them. And today I am with very different questions on a chapter electricity. See, all the questions were picked carefully. Almost I covered all the topics that are there in electricity. And you know what? With respect to the question, whatever the concept is involved, in and around the concept, everything will be discussed here. So don't forget to watch the video till the end. Fine. See, the very first question, very common type from electricity. If you see the previous years of Karnataka board SSLC papers, if they had asked MCQ on electricity, usual way of asking is on units. Okay, say you have different units that you studied in a chapter. So this is a unit for what? And for this quantity, what is the unit? Say most commonly asked type is on units. So definitely I have a strong feeling that at least even for this year one question can be asked on the units. Okay, either they'll give the quantity and ask units, or with respect to the units any question may come. So units is the most important aspect from the chapter. So first question you can see, which of the given is the SI unit of electric current? Options: ohm, ampere, volt, Faraday. So this is a very common question. We all know ampere is the SI unit. Ampere is the SI unit of electric current. Okay. So we will discuss other units also. See the other options. Ohm is there. Can you tell me ohm is the SI unit of what? Resistance, isn't it? And the next one, volt is there. So volt is the SI unit of what? Voltage or potential difference. See, I am showing all the units because anyone they can ask you. It is not that the same question will come in the exam. No, concentrate on all units of various terms, right? Fine. And they have given Faraday, right? Say Faraday, you don't study for 10th level. You will see it in higher classes. So no need to worry. But still, Faraday word has come. I'm telling its meaning. It is the charge of 1 mole of electrons. 1 mole of electrons is called Faraday. Okay, so you will study it in chemical reactions in the higher classes. So don't worry about Faraday. And now, can you tell me what is the unit of resistivity? This also can be asked. Resistivity. You know the resistance unit is ohm. So the resistivity unit is ohm meter, right? So ohm meter, or we represent it like this. Ohm meter is the unit of resistivity. Okay, next, which are the things there? Power. Yes, very important. What is the SI unit of power? It is watt. Watt is SI unit of power. And now electric energy. Electric energy. I'm talking about electric energy. So electric energy, what is the unit? Watt hour. Right? Watt hour, or commercial unit of electric energy is kilowatt hour. Right? So these are the different terms whose units are very important. So I have given you the list of the SI units which you have to remember for examination point of view. Okay, so it's my strong feeling that the question on units can be a common type, right? Even for this year. This is my opinion. Okay, it's not that definitely question will come, but it's my opinion that you should concentrate on all the units, right? Fine. Something around the units they may ask you, definitely. Okay, let's go for the second question. See, second question is on the instruments I selected. The instrument used for measuring electric current is options: ammeter, galvanometer, voltmeter, potentiometer. Okay, see, definitely electric current is measured with the help of ammeter, right? So here option A, ammeter is correct. But let us discuss about the other instruments also. Okay, so ammeter we know used to measure electric current. Okay, it is used to measure electric current, or I. Let me call it as I. And next you have galvanometer. Can you tell me what is the use of galvanometer here? So galvanometer is used to detect the presence of current. Detect the presence of electric current. Okay, and next voltmeter, we all know voltmeter is used to measure voltage. It is used to measure voltage, isn't it, or potential difference. And next, what is there? Potentiometer. You know potentiometer, no need to worry about it, you will study it in higher classes. Okay, potentiometer is nothing but it's a variable resistor. It's a kind of variable resistor. So even the potentiometer also used to detect voltage. Okay, it is used to detect whether there is an voltage or not in a particular resistor. Okay, so it is used to detect voltage. Okay, so these are the uses of different instruments. So I just wanted to tell about all the instruments, so I selected this question, another important model. Okay, coming to the third question. See, definitions. They may ask you the definitions of these particular terms. Like, you must know what do you mean by electric current. So, what's an electric current? Rate of flow of charge is called electric current, and you must know what is potential difference. Okay, so even the definitions are important. So, the third question I selected is on the definitions. Look at the question. The amount of work done in joules when one unit of electric charge moves from one point to another point in an electric circuit is called. See, what do you call when work is done to move charge from one place to another place? Work done to move a charge from one place to another place is called potential difference. That is what we call voltage or potential difference, right? So which is the option correct here? It is option 4. Option 4, that is option D is correct, right? So concentrate on various definitions, especially electric current definition, potential difference definition, Ohm's law definition. Okay, so all these definitions are important. Coming to the fourth question, as I said, it's on Ohm's law, very, very important. The relation between potential difference and current is. So, how both are related? So, what does the Ohm's law says? Voltage is directly proportional to current, right? Or you can write V is equal to Ri, whereas R is a constant, we will call it as resistance. Say this is the mathematical form of Ohm's law. So which of the following option is correct on Ohm's law? A wrong, B no, C is also wrong. So D, V directly proportional to I. So this is correct. This is how potential difference is related to current I. Isn't it? Fine. And now let's go for the fifth question. Look at the fifth question carefully. A battery of 12 volts is connected in series with resistors of 0.2 ohms, 3.3 ohm, zero point 0.4 ohm, zero point 0.5 ohm and 12 ohm. How much current would flow through the 0.3 ohm resistor? So how much current would flow through the 0.3 ohm resistor? Okay, so just let me put a circuit for you here. Say there are so many resistors connected in series, they say. So all of them are connected in series. So how many are there? Say the first one, okay, let me take it as this is having 0.2 ohm resistance and this is having 0.3 ohm and the other one has 0.4 ohm, right? And then 0.5 ohm and another resistor you have of about how much ohm? 12 ohm, right? So all of them are connected in series, and you have a battery, right? And the voltage of battery is of how much? It is about 12 volts. Okay, so positive, negative. They are asking what is I. They are asking, say I, current would flow, and what is I they are asking. In a series combination, we all know that same current would pass through all the resistors, right? Same current. The current passage would be same, right? Only the potential difference divides here, but the current remains constant. So how much ever current is there in a circuit, the current would flow through all the resistors. The same current flows through 0.2 ohm resistor, 0.5, 0.4, 0.4 and 12 ohms also, right? So here what you have to calculate is what is that current I. So how do you calculate? Just an Ohm's law. V is equal to IR, we know, right? So I is equal to V by R we have to do. But what is the R you will take? You are not supposed to take 0.3 ohm, since they have asked you what is the current passed through 0.3 ohm resistor. So you are not supposed to take 0.3 here. Voltage is given. Say voltage is how much? 12 volts. Okay, but R we want. R you are not supposed to take 0.3 ohm. You have to find the total resistance. Okay, so how do you find total resistance in series? Say finally this is a formula we have to use. Voltage we know given in a question. R is not given. So total resistance in series you should find, that is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 plus R5, isn't it? 5 resistors are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So add all the resistances. Say it is 0.2 ohm, right? Plus 0.3 ohm plus 0.4 ohm plus 0.5 ohm plus 12 ohm. So how much do you get? So here you would get around 13.4, isn't it? Yes, you would get 13.4 ohms. So that is your RS, right? So here you have to substitute that RS. So voltage is how much? 12 divided by 13.4. How much do you get? So match it with the option. So you will get the answer 0.895, isn't it? So 0.895 amperes as your answer. So which is matching with option A. So this matches with option A, isn't it? So you no need to find out the current that is flowing through 0.3 ohm resistor, because the current is constant. The same current whatever is there in a circuit would pass through all the resistors when they are connected in series, right? So this is how you have to find out. Clear? So answer is option A. Coming to the sixth question, on which of the given the resistance does not depend? Okay, we all know the factors that depend on resistance. Resistance depends on the length of a conductor. Resistance depends on the area of a conductor, isn't it? So our resistance is directly proportional to length of a conductor. It is inversely proportional to area of a conductor, and it is directly proportional to temperature, right? Say it depends on so many factors. They are asking on which factor it will not depend in the options. See option A, length of a conductor. Yes, it is directly proportional to length of a conductor. Area of a cross section. Yes, it depends on area of a cross section. It depends on temperature also, but it does not depend on density. Okay, so resistance does not depend on density. So here which is the correct option? Option D is correct. They are asking on which factor our resistance does not depend. So on which factor it will not depend? It will not depend on density, okay, of a material. Fine. Seventh question. There is wire of length L. Okay, so there is a wire of length L and cross section A, and its cross section is A. Which of the given have least resistance? They are asking. Okay, when you have a wire which is having a length L and area of cross section A, okay, and you know in which case they have given certain conditions as options. In which condition you will observe the least resistance, they are asking. Okay, say what happens, let us apply the first condition here. What happens when length is doubled? We all know our resistance is directly proportional to L and our resistance is inversely proportional to area. Okay, this is what you have to keep in mind. Let us work it out. When length is doubled and area is half, when you reduce the area half, when length is doubled, okay, imagine length is increased for 2 times. Okay, we all know R is equal to, we can write L by A, right? We can write L by A. Imagine length has increased 2 times and area has decreased. Area has decreased by half times. So area, I will write it as 1 by 2. Okay, length increased by 2 times, doubled means 2 times. So L is equal to 2, I will write. Area decreased by half, they told. So 1 by 2 I will write. So how much is the resistance you got here? This denominator to denominator goes numerator. 2 into 2, 4. So resistance will increase by 4 times. Okay, resistance will increase by 4 times, isn't it? So similarly, second option, you see the second option, length tripled. Okay, so here R is equal to L by A. They said length tripled. Okay, length increased by 3 times and area doubled. So area is doubled. So how much is the resistance increased here? Resistance will increase by 1.5 times, isn't it? And coming to the third option, what is third option? Length halved. Length has decreased by half. Okay, so length has decreased by half, they said, that is 1 by 2, right? Divided by area doubled. Area doubled, right? So how much do you get here? R is equal to 1 by 4 times, right? So 1 by 4 times, in the sense what, you will almost get 0.2 something. Okay, so your R, you got this much, 0.2. And the fourth option is the original wire. Okay, fine. See, in which of the case you had got the least value? Say in the first case you got R is equal to 4 times. In the second case you got R is equal to 1.5 times. In the third case you got R is equal to 0.2 times. Resistance increased by 0.2 times. So that means what actually happened here is the least resistance you have got in the third case, right? So we all know R, as L increases, our resistance will increase. But in the third option, L was decreased, right? L was decreased, automatically our resistance also will be decreased. Not only that, you have to consider our area also. In the third option, L was decreased and our area was increased. So definitely our resistance will decrease. So that's how logically also you can finish off the answer, but I told it in a detailed way, that's it. Okay, say they would ask you the question, say if this happens, how many times the resistance will increase or how many times the resistance will decrease. That way also they would ask you, right? Then you have to work like this and give the answer, right? So here, which is the option? Option C is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. Clear? This particular question can be asked in any way, right? So that's the reason I gave you this much explanation. That's it. Okay. And coming to the 8th question. A resistor of length L. Okay. Connected to a battery and current I is given through it. And current I is flowing through this particular resistor. If it is divided into 3 parts by length, the same thing I will divide into 3 parts. Okay, I'll divide. This is one part, this is second part, and this is third part. Okay, so first part, second part, third part. This I am dividing into 3 parts. Fine. And all having the same cross-sectional area are connected in series with same battery. The current flowing through them will be I only. Right? So there's no change in a current. Okay, they are, as long as they are connected in a series, you will not find any difference in the current. The same current would pass through all the three resistors, isn't it? Say the answer is I. When I amount of current is passing through them, I amount of current only you would observe in every resistor. Okay, so there is no change in the current. If I is passing, I amount of current only you would observe through every resistor. Okay, so what is the option you will select? First option says I by 3. Second option says 3I. Third option says I. D option says 3I by 2. So definitely there is no change in I. So option C is correct. Option C is correct. That is I only. Okay, there is no change in current as long as they are connected in series. Right? Okay. Let's go for ninth question. Even our ninth question is very much conceptual. Observe it carefully. If the current flowing through a fixed resistor is halved in the sense it has become half. It means that the current has become half. You made it half, decreased half. The heat produced in it will become how much? Okay, what's the relation between heat produced and current? It is Joule's law of heating, isn't it? H is equal to I square RT. This is the relationship you know. And we know H is equal to I square. H is directly proportional to square of current. Heat produced is directly proportional to square of current. Okay. See what they said, I, that is the current flowing through a fixed resistor has become half. Okay. So half in the sense 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 square if you do, H is equal to 1 by 4 you will get. So when current is decreased to half, the heat produced will become 1/4. Right? So which is the option you will select? 1/4. 1 by 4 means 1/4. So option C is correct. Option C is correct answer. 10th question. An electric heater is rated 2 kilowatt. Okay, so what is given? Electric heater is rated 2 kilowatt. In the sense power is given, power is 2 kilowatt. Okay. Electrical energy is cost rupees 4 per kilowatt hour. Okay, so cost they have given, that is rupees 4 per kilowatt hour. Okay, fine. And the time they have given, what is the cost of using the heater for 3 hours? So time they have given, that is 3 hours, isn't it? So once again I'll read the question. An electric heater is rated at 2 kilowatt. Electrical energy cost rupees 4 per kilowatt hour. What is the cost of using the heater for 3 hours? Okay, say how much is the electric energy? Say power is given, time is given. So energy consumed is how much? It is power into time, isn't it? How much is the power given? 2 kilowatt. 2 kilowatt into time is how much? 3 hours. So energy consumed is 6 kilowatt hour. So total energy consumed is 6 kilowatt hour. And we all know 1 kilowatt hour, okay, cost about 4 rupees. So 6 kilowatt hour costs how much? Right? So just a cross multiplication. So 6 into 4 you have to do, that is 24 rupees. So this much energy cost this much rupees. Okay, the cost of this much energy is this much rupees. So 24. So very simple problem, isn't it? So which is the option? Option B is answer here. Option B is your answer. That's it. Coming to 11th question. An electric fuse works on, definitely it's a very direct question. Chemical effect of current, magnetic effect of current, lightning effect of current, heating effect of current. Definitely electric fuse works on heating effect of current. So what is the option here? Option D. For the 11th question, answer is option D, isn't it? Okay. Next question, 12th question. The resistivity of copper metal depends on only one of the following factors. This factor is length, thickness, temperature, area of cross section. So resistivity does not depend on anything except temperature. Resistivity only depends on temperature. It doesn't depend on length of a conductor. It doesn't depend on area of cross section of a conductor. It doesn't depend on thickness, nothing. Okay, it is a nature of material, only depends on temperature. So our resistivity depends on which factor? Temperature. That is option C. Option C is the answer for 12th question. Coming to 13th question. Very simple. When a 4 ohm resistor is connected across the terminals of 12-volt battery, the number of coulombs passing through the resistor per second is. See, number of coulombs passing through a resistor per second is they are asking. Okay. See, first list out what is given. What is given? See, I am solving 13th question. Resistance is given, that is 4 ohms. Okay. And later they gave you voltage. V is given, that is 12 volts. First calculate I. Calculate I. So how do you calculate I? V is equal to IR is the formula. I is equal to V by R, isn't it? So V is 12 and R is 4, right? So 4 ones are, 4 threes are. So I is equal to 3 amperes. We got I is equal to 3 amperes. And after that, we know I is equal to charge divided by time, isn't it? And they are asking number of coulombs. Okay, number of coulombs that is having this much current they are asking. So it is I into T is equal to, the charge you would get, right? So I is 3 amperes. In what is the second they are asking? In 1 second, in 1 second. So 1 second is equal to Q. So that would be 3, right? Say it's like number of coulombs is 3 coulombs, isn't it? So 3 coulombs is your answer. So which is the option? Option B is your answer. Option B. Okay. So very, very simple problem. Look at the 14th question, guys. Very, very interesting question, conceptual. A wire of resistance R1 is cut into 5 equal pieces. These 5 pieces of wire are then connected in parallel. If the resultant resistance of this combination be R2, then the ratio R1 by R2 is. See, everything is there in understanding a question. Okay, so what are they saying? A wire of resistance R1. You have a long wire which is having a resistance R1 ohms. Okay, and this was cut into 5 parts. This wire was cut into 5 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 and part 5. Okay, and all of them are connected in parallel. Say part 1. This is part 1. Okay, wire, and this is part 2, right? This is part 3 wire, and this is part 4, and this is part 5. Okay, so all of them are connected in parallel with some battery, right? And now they are asking what is the ratio, and now when they connected in parallel, you got a total resistance as R2. Total resistance as R2. And they are asking the ratio of R1 by R2. R1 by R2, how much do you get? So this is what our question is. You had a wire cut into 5 pieces. So those 5 pieces were connected in parallel. Those 5 were connected in parallel. Okay, when they are connected in parallel and made a circuit, you had got a total resistance R2. Okay, initially the straight wire, when it was not cut, the resistance was R1. Okay, so R1, and next when they are connected in parallel, R2. What is the ratio of R1 by R2 they are asking? You see here, when the wire was having a resistance R1, when it was cut into 5 parts, how much would be the resistance? It would be R1 by 5, no? So what is the resistance of the first part? It is R1 by 5. What is the resistance of the second part? It is R1 by 5. This is also R1 by 5. The resistance of this part, R1 by 5. Resistance of this resistor, R1 by 5. Yes or no? So initially you were having R1 resistance. When it is cut into 5 parts, each part's resistance is R1 by 5. Each part's resistance is R1 by 5, isn't it? So now what I can do, okay, let me find out the total resistance 1 by R2. I'm finding the total resistance of a circuit. Okay, so it is 1 by total resistance, they are saying it is R2. Okay, let me try to find out the total resistance. 1 by R2 is equal to 1 by R1 by 5, right? Plus 1 by R1 by 5 plus 1 by R1 by 5 plus 1 by R1 by 5 plus 1 by R1 by 5. Yes or no? So this is how we calculate the total resistance when they are connected in parallel. So denominator to denominator goes to numerator. So what I can write? 1 by R2 is equal to 5 by R1 plus 5 by R1 plus 5 by R1, right? Plus 5 by R1 plus 5 by R1, right? So what do I get? 1 by R2 is equal to, how much do I get? I'll get it as 25 by R1, right? So I'll bring this to here. So what I can write? R1 by R2 is equal to, I can write it as 25. So what is the ratio? They had asked you the ratio only, right? So R1 by R2, how much I got? 25. Isn't it? So 25 is the answer here. See how simple it is. See, when you cut into 5 parts, each part's resistance is R1 by 5. So that if you know, you will get the final answer definitely. Right? So total resistance I am trying to find out. Each part's resistance is R1 by 5. Right? So this is what the formula you will use when they are connected in parallel. So just we got our ratio. R1 by R2 is equal to 25. That's it. Very conceptual question, isn't it? You have to be careful. If you have to answer such questions, you should know the entire concept very clearly. Right? Okay. Now let me go for the 15th question now. A battery of 10 volt carries 20,000 coulomb of charge through a resistance of 20 ohms. The work done in 10 seconds is, work done in 10 seconds. They are asking work done, yeah. So you have a formula, right? Voltage is equal to work done by charge. We know voltage formula, we know potential difference formula, that is work done by charge. And they are asking work done. Work done is equal to voltage into charge, we can write. Say, did they give voltage and charge in a question? Yes, they gave both in a question. A battery of 10 volt. So what is the voltage they gave? 10 volts. And a charge, it's having a charge of 20,000 coulomb. 20,000 coulomb. So voltage is given in a question, charge is given in a question, substitute in a formula. Voltage is 10 and charge is 20,000, right? So you would get around how much? 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Isn't it? So I can simply write this number as 2 into 10 to the power of how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So work done is this much joules. So for work done, the unit is joules, isn't it? So answer is 2 into 10 power 5 joules. So where is the option? Option B. Option B is the correct answer for which question? For 15th question. Isn't it? And now let us go for 16th question. Observe the 16th question carefully, guys. A cooler of 1500 watt 200 volt and a fan of 500 watt 200 volt are to be used from a household supply. The rating of fuse to be used is, Okay, so fuses are always used to protect the electrical appliances, right? And you know, fuses will have certain capacity. Capacity of a fuse is selected based on how much power is taken by the electrical appliances, isn't it? Now say if you have to find the capacity of a fuse that has to be used, you must know how much amount of current is taken from these instruments, okay, taken by these instruments, isn't it? Okay, let us see the electrical appliances that you have in a house. One is a cooler, okay, so which is having 1500 watt. It's having a power of 1500 watt and 200 volts, right? And another electrical appliance is a fan, okay, which is having a power of 500 watt at a voltage 200 volts. Okay, fine. And you know, you have to find out current here. If you want to know the capacity of fuse, you have to know the current, how much current these electrical appliances are taking actually, right? So once you know how much current they are taking, you can select the fuse with a particular capacity to protect them, isn't it? So how do you find the current here? You know, we have a relationship between power, voltage and current, right? P is equal to V into I. Say you have different formulas for power, which I have discussed in the mind map on electricity. If you want, you can go and watch that video where link is provided in the description. Okay, say among the formulas of power, I select this formula. Power is equal to voltage into I. Okay, so here I is equal to power, we have to find out I, isn't it? So power by voltage, and power can be added. Say add both the voltage is common here for both electrical appliances. You know, the same voltage can be supplied 200 volts. So voltage is 200 volts, but power is how much? Add the powers here. Okay, so this power P is equal to P1 plus P2, right? So what is P1? P1 is power of cooler, that is 1500. P2 is power of fan, that is 500. So altogether you would get 2000 watt. Total power is 2000 watt, isn't it? That I'll substitute here. So 2000 divided by 200. So definitely 10. So current taken by these instruments would be 10 amperes. So the fuse which is having a capacity of 10 ampere or above 10 amperes can be used. Okay, fuse which has a capacity of 10 ampere or above 10 ampere can be used to protect these particular electrical appliances, right? So what is the option you will select here? See the options: 2.5 ampere capacity fuse, 5 ampere, 7.5, 10 ampere. So definitely you will select 10 ampere having fuse, right? So which is the option? Option D, right? So option D is the correct answer for which question? 16th question. Okay, let's go for 17th question. 1 kilowatt hour is equal to how many joules? 1 kilowatt hour. Kilowatt hour is actually commercial unit of electric energy, right? So it's a commercial unit of electric energy, right? That is say they are asking 1 kilowatt hour is how much joules, right? So 1 kilowatt hour. So kilo in the sense what? 1 kilo in the sense what? 1000, right? Say hour is how much? So 1 hour is equal to how many seconds? It is 3600 seconds, right? So you would get around 3600000. So how can I write this? Can I write it as 3.6 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 to the power of 6, right? Say these many joules, isn't it? So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 power 6 joules. So your option C. Option C is the answer here, right? That's all about 17th question. Coming to 18th question. The resistance of a conductor is 27 ohms. If it is cut into 3 equal parts and connected in parallel, then its total resistance is, okay, it is similar to 14th question only, right? So they said you have some conductor which is having 27 ohms and you have cut into 3 parts. Okay, so this is part 1, this is part 2 and this is part 3. And these 3 parts are connected and they are connected parallelly. They are connected parallelly in a circuit. Okay, can you tell me what is the resistance of each part? Full wire's resistance 27 ohms. Now you have cut into 3 parts. So each part resistance is how much? It is 27 by 3, isn't it? So that means it is 9 ohms, right? So this first part has 9 ohm resistance, second part has 9 ohm resistance, and third part also has 9 ohm resistance. And they are connected in parallel. They are asking the total, what is that? Total resistance when they have connected in parallel. So when they are connected in parallel, total resistance 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Right. So each one is having 9 ohm. So how do you calculate? That is 1 by 9. Let me do it here. This side I am doing. So that is the formula. I'm doing the calculation here. 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9. So you would get 3 by 9, right? 1 by Rp is equal to 3 by 9. So 1s are 3s are. So Rp is equal to 3 ohms is your answer. Isn't it? So very simple. So what's your option? Option B. Okay, so answer for 18th question is option B, that is 3 ohms. So very conceptual question. Clear? And coming to the last question, 19th question. On which of the following no plus and minus sign is marked? Say when you mark a battery, I mean when you indicate a battery in a circuit, definitely it will have plus and minus sign, right? Say the longer line is plus, smaller line is minus, we will take. Right? So plus and minus sign we will mark for a battery. And when you have ammeter, if you are connecting a ammeter, then ammeter also will have, we will indicate plus and minus sign. Isn't it? Even for a voltmeter, when you connect a voltmeter is connected in parallel, right? So voltmeter also will have a sign plus or minus. Isn't it? But a resistor, say when you connect a resistor, do we show any sign? Do we show any sign when you connect a resistor with a wire? No, right? So there is no plus minus sign indication for a resistor. But there is plus minus sign indication for voltmeter, ammeter as well as battery. Right? So what is your option? Option B, resistor will not have plus minus sign indication in a circuit. Clear? So these are the 19 questions where I covered all the topics from electricity and discussed the concept also, like how you can answer, why the option has come and everything. So electricity numericals can be expected. It would be simple only, and some conceptual also you can be asked. So you have to be very careful with the concept. Each and every concept has to be perfect. Right? Only then you can answer such questions. So let us meet up in the next session with a next chapter, that is magnetic effect of electric current. Thank you so much, and do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. Good luck.